Fyodor Dostoevsky once said, "Much unhappiness has come into the world because of refusal to sit quietly in a room." So in this video, I'm going to be covering why I don't overshare my plans or details of what I'm doing, the difference between movement and noise, why my progress was quieter than I expected it would be, how restraint changed and improved my growth, and what I'm keeping private so that I can be able to continue to grow. So one of the main reasons I don't share details about my plans is because it gives a false sense of accomplishment. So whenever I have in the past, before I fixed this mistake, when I would tell my friends my plans, like, oh, I'm going to start a business. I want to make this amount of money this year. I want to do X, Y, and Z. As I did that, it just made me feel like, oh, I'm doing something. I'm telling people and they're giving me a positive reaction about it. And because of that, I am getting good feedback and I feel like I'm actually doing something. But in reality, I'm just speaking. I'm not actually acting or doing anything. Therefore, I was trapped in a little loop where I would speak, get quick dopamine rush, feel like I did something, and then repeat and repeat and repeat. Another thing, again, as I mentioned just before, it offers cheap dopamine. So whenever you tell someone your plans and you get positive reinforcement about it, dopamine floods your brain and you feel happy and excited and good that, oh, I'm making progress, but in reality, you're not. And it also creates a dependency on validation. So as you keep getting positive reviews from your peers, from the things you're talking about, it requires a need for validation to make you feel good about what you're doing. So instead of actually going into the work and doing the work, going through the boredom, pushing through the pain, and actually getting results and getting dopamine from waiting and actually seeing results, you're getting dopamine before you actually do anything, and it causes it to be even harder to be able to actually do the work necessary to get the results you want. And it also causes productive procrastination. You feel like you're doing something, but you're actually just repeating the process, just waiting to actually do the work because you feel like you're already doing it because you keep getting validated and you keep getting dopamine. The difference between movement and noise. So movement typically includes minimal distractions. You're constantly improving. You have a goal set in your mind and you're doing the actions required to get you to that goal. Noise is mainly distractions, such as cheap dopamine, like scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, not pursuing your goals, so you're doing the actions that prevent you from doing your goals. So instead of waking up early and doing things and getting work done before everyone in your family wakes up or things start getting loud, instead of doing that, you sleep until like 1 p.m., you go downstairs, watch TV, eat cereal, you don't take care of your health, stuff like that. So like noise would also mean hanging out with friends that don't hold your standards. Of course, it doesn't have to be as high of extremes as you or me, but as long as they're maintaining similar like boundaries that you have, it's important to be around people that hold the same values as you, and as it fosters momentum and growth, because while you're around people that are similar to you, it gives you a sort of cushion to continue doing what you're doing. It's basically positive reinforcement. So noise, basically the opposite of that, opposite of growth. Or I guess in simpler terms, it's the things that prevent you from pursuing the actions that lead you to your goals. Restraint changed my growth. It improved it and it made it so much better. It required me to not rely on social approval, so I'm now able to start without having to tell my friends and have them validate me that what I'm doing is cool and it'll get awesome results. Because before I fix this issue, I would tell my friends, "Oh, I'm gonna do a copywriting business, and this is exactly what it is." And I go into full depth explaining what it is to someone that probably doesn't care and will forget within like the week. And they would be like, "Oh, cool! You're on top of things. You're getting things done. You're so ahead." But as I was telling them, I was getting that dopamine rush. I was getting that validation that, oh, this is something I should be doing. But I would just keep telling more and more people. And now I've learned to keep my mouth shut. I'll only tell people that seem like they're actually invested into wanting to know what I'm doing. And then again, it's if they ask specific questions, I'll answer them. And only if answering them will not condemn me. Holding restraint within myself also gave me more privacy, because I wouldn't be telling everyone everything about myself. Then I could be able to be within myself more, have more peace. I wouldn't be worried about what other people thought about me, because they wouldn't know what I'm doing. And that just, it's wonderful not having to worry about what others think about you. It's a great blessing. And to do that, what I've done is to just not mention all the details of my life. Most people just get to know my personality and who I am, not what I am and what I do. And restraint also allowed me to have more reflection. So because I'm not speaking and reacting all the time, I'm able to look within myself, see, I did something wrong today. It was X, Y, and Z, and I can do blank to fix it. So I was able to, as I changed from reacting to responding to thinking, I was able to understand more about what was going on internally. I was able to notice and recognize more of the emotions I was feeling and how to process them. Better emotional regulation was something that I developed from showing restraint in social settings and at home. And my progress and progressing happened a lot quieter than I expected it to be. As I continued to grow, I have learned that peace and being able to do things calmly and quietly is greater than doing busy work and trying to do as much as possible. Because if you're able to do the work necessary in a calm way, you're more likely to be more focused, because you don't have a ton of emotions pulling you side to side, or worry or rumination. I need to do that, I need to do that. The deadline for this is in 2 days, and I haven't even started. Stuff like that. And I realized also that progressing mainly means improving your traits and increasing your bandwidth. So improving traits, I'm only mainly focused on positive traits, because I think that's what you should focus on. What I should focus on is improving the positive traits and qualities we have and developing new ones that are also good as well. So being compassionate, showing charity, being kind, spreading good humor, not inappropriate humor. Being able to spread good joy and good humor is always a plus. And it's something that I have been trying to work on around my peers and with my family. And increasing my bandwidth. How I view bandwidth is my ability to manage more stuff. So being able to have multiple clients for copywriting, being able to do all my schoolwork, being able to practice my instrument, being able to follow my faith. And bandwidth is the ability to do all of those in a manageable way. So being able to do it in a calm way. And as I've grown, I've been able to manage more, and my bandwidth has continued to increase and increase, so I can handle more and do more without having to worry or stress that I'm doing too much and it'll overwhelm me. Another thing is that as I have progressed and grown, my social interactions have changed from reacting all the time to everything everyone says to more listening and responding selectively. So the more you listen, the more you can interpret and understand what's happening around you. And as you choose to hold your thoughts in your head and just think about them for a couple seconds, it has allowed me to be able to better respond to things I want to respond to. So I've been able to control my mind in a way where I don't just automatically react to everything that's happening around me. I can now think, pause, and choose if I want to respond or not. And the main distinction between that is reacting and responding. Reacting is something happens, and without thought, you let your emotions lead you into saying something or acting some way that you wouldn't have intended to do if you had taken a moment to think about it. And responding is thinking about it. So not reacting based on your emotions, but choosing to think and act or speak in a way that is aligned with what you want to happen. So if there's an argument and you don't want to be in an argument, then you choose to say words that can either calm the situation or that can pull you out of it so you can just leave the argument and leave the negative setting. And some of the things that I've been choosing to keep quiet around my peers and on social media like YouTube is personal details. Well, this is specifically for like social media. I don't give out names and I don't give out like where I live. Just basic like online security and safety. This is one thing. And also so that just like not everything about me is out there. Because I value privacy. I don't want everyone to know everything about me. I think that'd be a little weird, kind of creepy. And then also something I like to keep private, especially now that I've grown and like recognized the worth of not sharing everything, is keeping, I guess, secret the mechanisms of their inner mechanisms of my businesses. So like I won't really ever explain exactly what I do. I think I'll just explain like the principles of, I did this and it gave me this results. And then I just explain how I did it, but not exactly what I'm doing with it. Maybe. We'll see. And then the main thing that I'm keeping private is my biggest ambition. I've only told this to like handful of people. My family knows my biggest ambition. I like to talk about it a lot with them. And then also with some of my peers. I've mentioned it before. And yeah. But eventually I will mention it because it will become important and I will be involving it in YouTube later. But that'll be probably like a couple years in the future. So yeah. Thanks for watching today's video and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.